Alright, been a minute since I've updated anyone on this turd. Here it is as it sits at the moment. I'm always changing things or putting new things on it. Putting garbage all over it. I'm tired and I'm about to go find the cat with my little tracker and then go in for the day because it's getting chilly out. But yeah, I believe I showed the forks in the last video. And I've got this headlight now instead, and I've got my old radio thing I made, the speakers. It goes pretty good. It's got those tires on it. I made these cover plates for the side because I rode it. We got our first decent, meaningful snow, and I was able to test it in the snow, and this thing does great. It does great in the soft, deep sand as well, finally. That was a matter of the right motor controller. The motor could do it. Now my weakest link is the BMS and the battery, which I will be figuring out and potentially getting a new battery for it, or just dissecting that one and seeing what kind of cells it has, if I can bypass the BMS and testing, seeing how many amps I'm pulling or how many amps theoretically it wants to pull. Figure out if those cells can handle it, if I do it the redneck way, or if I absolutely have to get another battery, basically. But yeah, I wound up putting the little truck bed back on there and these little panels I made, because I absolutely needed fenders. These little tiny tires sling snow and mud and everything right up at you. So I had to do something. I was going to use the little pink Jeep fenders, but they didn't quite fit right. It looked neat over it, but they didn't quite fit right, so I wound up having to go with the bigger set of fenders. And for now, I just heated this plastic up and bent it inward. I cut the whole face of it out. For now, I did that. I might change it later, just because I figure once I put a support under it like it used to have, I'll still use that as a little bit of a bay. But I got the wheels relatively almost center of the fenders. And I plan on adding bigger wheels to it again eventually, but these are brand new, like front riding lawnmower wheels, good bearings, and fit right on the axle that I put on there, so these will do me for this winter at least. And if I want bigger, skinnier, like bicycle style wheels on it again, or if I ever get rid of that dirt bike tire and go back to a regular bicycle style tire, which I might do eventually, you never know. So I like having the option. But yeah, it's got the gear selector here, which is actually just reverse. So all the way up is reverse. And then it's a 3-position, but I only use it as just one switch, just one set of wires. It connects one circuit. So the rest of it does nothing. But put it all the way up and it's reverse, and that's because, if you're hitting a bump and stuff, you don't want it to accidentally drop down into reverse, so I'd rather be up. But yeah, and then there's the radio, and that's the rest of the radio stuff. It's got my dash cam thingy because people are assholes on the road, and even on the side of the road when I ride this thing as a mobility scooter. So imagine a mobility scooter, all the places you can legally go on those, this is allowed to go. It's just as wide. It still fits through a standard door frame and everything. The only difference is this is kind of long. It's basically the same size as most large outdoor 3-wheeled mobility scooters. But, and I've already talked to the local police and everything and told them, and they've seen me how I operate it. I operate it safely, but, people in their little dick trucks don't respect it on the road or anywhere near the road, so they try to kill me every time. So I've been informed by the police that I need to, or should, advise to, install my dash cam thing and whatnot, because people are trying to literally murder me and run me into like cars and things on a 20-mile-an-hour road, and they try to run me over and try to pass me and almost hit head-on traffic, which isn't great. It's unsafe. There's a reason I drive a small thing. One is I'm sore all the time. 2 is I have panic attacks. And then people are making it worse by actually trying to murder me on the road. So yeah. Oh, and I added this little piece of plexiglass or whatever. I already had it. It was going to be painted on and made to look kind of like one of those glass window things that has different colors and lead holding it all together. I was going to paint it and make it look like that for like just a little project to like go with my stuff. But I realized I probably needed something there so that, well, I was kind of hopeful that if I change that mount, then yes, when I'm sitting in it, I'll be able to see out the back of it. But mostly it's so that people behind me can see if I'm looking left or right or things like that, because I'm not putting turn signals or anything back on this, and I'm not going to fully put doors on it. I was going to, but I don't think I think if I want to avoid turn signals, also it's very narrow, and I'm not very narrow. So not having doors makes it more comfortable, and so I can just stick my arm out for hand signals and stuff. So that works. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, though. It's a piece of crap wrapped in duct tape, but it works. Yep. Alright. I don't think I've made a video on this yet, but this is a lawnmower somebody gave to me. I put the little skelly man head on there and the pillowcase because, you know, as usual, several-year-old lawnmowers. But I have modified it. I don't ride it just yet because I only got it for the deep snow because it's got the good axle, good torque, and I don't have the other electric stuff done yet to where I can use either of those 9-to-1 gear ratio axles I've got. But yeah, so I did just this quick and dirty, inefficient way. It's very it uses a lot of battery power, but it works, you know. So I'm not going to use it unless I need it. But yeah, so it's just the same as it was before with the gas motor, belt drive system, and the little clutch pedal and all that stuff. But I tensioned it. You don't really use this pedal anymore. You can if you want, but yeah. And instead of the little lever here, it's a potentiometer, because the way this hydrostatic thing, the way this works is it likes constant RPM. Like, it doesn't like the motor just going from 0 to something or whatever. And I think I need to top it off with some fluid or check it out. This one is serviceable, so the hydrostatic diff in it. But yeah, so because it needs to be constant RPMs, I've already figured out where that RPM range is on here. So there's like a little dot on this. I know where it needs to be. So then and obviously my battery goes there. But like I said, it's inefficient, so I just use that, and the same as you would before, just neutral, reverse. It's all mechanical for the other stuff, even though the controller's got all that in it. It's just this was a quick and dirty conversion, like true redneck style. So made it easy. Oh, and the front was cracked and broke, so I had to cut off the lower half of the plastics, and this is one of them that didn't have the connecting bits all the way across, so I welded on a piece to make it connecting bits and then rebolted it so that I can still technically have a bit of a hood there to keep the rain and stuff off of this. But yeah, and the controller's way down yonder underneath. But I think I'm going to switch this thing over to a 48 volt and use lead acid batteries eventually, maybe next year, just for the weight and for the simplicity. Because I can get 100 amp hour 12 volt batteries for like $175 or less, probably. Deep cycle ones, I've had them before, so I could probably fit about 4 of them in there with the same motor, because that motor's already rated at 48 volts. I'm running it on 84, so yeah. But that's pretty much that. Thought I'd show that. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to be working on stuff. Winter's coming. I'm slowing down on working on anything. Working on my mental health more than anything. But, yeah. Let me know what you think. If if anyone really likes these videos, let me know so I know to keep trying. I'll try and get better over time at making them. That's all.